want to teach on this Sunday morning from the topic of a free mind. A free mind. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. A free mind. As we begin to look at our text and topic, there are those of us in this house on this morning that can relate in some kind of shape, form, or fashion. There have been a time or two within your life when everything that was around you was going just fine. From the mindset of your family was doing great. You just got the promotion on the job. Your paycheck is no longer short. And everything seems to be going great. But even in the midst of all of these things going on around you, there is something that is missing. There is something that we are lacking. And that something that is missing and that something that we are lacking is a free mind. All of us can be honest enough to say, you know what, Pastor? I've had some real good seasons where everything was good. Everything was popping. Everything around me was blessed. It seems as if I woke up and there was a blessing. I opened my mouth and there was a blessing. But there was something that was still wrong. There was something that I was still searching for. And that's something that I was searching for. That's something that was wrong. It was within my mindset. How many of you believe in this house on this morning that yes, the mind is a terrible thing to waste? Amen. What are you saying, Pat? Man, if you don't have a mind, you will not be able to accomplish anything. How many of you have been through a season to where maybe in this season you were in it, but your mind was not in it? And in the dangers of your mind not being in it is because right next door to your mind is your heart. So then you begin to look at this situation, you begin to look at life, and you see where you are in life, and you find yourself struggling because your mind is messed up and your heart is hurting. But God is saying to each and every one of us in this house on this morning, there's something that we all could use, and it is a free mind. Then there are those of us, Brother Terry, that can be honest enough to say, you know what, Pastor? One of the biggest battles that I face in life, it's not the battle with my co-workers. It's not the battle with my kinfolk. It's not the battle with my family members. It's not the battle with the issues. It's not the battle with the obstacles. It's not the battle with the technical difficulties. But the issues that I face and the battle that I have on this Sunday morning in this house is simply a battle of the mind. And there are individuals that are battling with God and sharing with God. God, I'm great everywhere else, but if you could do one thing for me, can you please straighten out my mind? Because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. I don't like how I'm feeling in the mind. I don't like how I'm thinking in the mind. I have become mean. I have become angry. But it's a battle that's going on. It's in my mind. Right now, my mind has got me saying things that I normally don't say. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor it's in your mind. Amen. Right now, my mind has given me a disposition that's not even me. It's in my mind. So God, I'm in a season right now to where I'm not begging you of anything. I don't need any money. I don't need the job. I don't need the car. Everything else will take care of itself. But God, there's one thing that I'm in need of, and it is a free mind. Just get my mind together, God. I think it was back in the day when there was the ghetto boys that said, my mind is playing tricks on me. Don't be alarmed. Don't be ashamed, because as believers in Christ, we will go through seasons to where our minds will sometimes become dysfunctional. Think about it this way. How many times have you shared with somebody? I don't think like I used to. I'm getting a little older. So it takes me a little longer for things to travel in my mind. Here we are in the midst of this text. This was David. This was one of God's homeboys, as we would say. One of God's main men. Crying out to God. Because he was in a terrible fix. He was in a terrible situation. And here we are thinking, because we are part of the family of God, we are part of the Gethsemane Baptist Church, here we are thinking that we got it all together and we're not going to have any issues. The devil is a liar. As long as you keep living on this green earth, you're going to have issues, you're going to have problems, you're going to have difficulties. But we serve a God that is able. Amen. God, if I can just get you to help me get my mind together. There's an air about me that ain't even right, God. I can't blame this person and that person. My attitude has changed. My disposition is nasty. God, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. Can you please give me a free mind? Teaching on this morning. It'll help all of us. If I can just get my mind together, I can't focus on everybody else's problem because I'm trying to work on my mind. David said here in the text, he said it's personal. Oftentimes in life, God is requiring each and every one of us, instead of pointing the finger at everybody else about their household and what they got going on, God is charging and challenging each and every one of us to look at ourselves. David said, God, I can easily put the blame on my brothers now. He said, but it's me. He said, but I understand that you are my light and my salvation. So even when darkness try to gain control over my mindset, I begin to understand that even in the midst of darkness, I serve a God who is light. But man, this battle I'm having, this right here, I got a battle going on in my mind. Right now, my mind is not right. It was Paul that said, he says, the things that I should do, those are the things that I don't do. It was Paul that said the things that I don't do. Those are the things that I should do. It was Paul that said that every time I try to do good, evil is always present. Have you ever went through a season within your life to where it seems like God was landing everything up and you got your foot in front of you, everything seems to be going the right way, and then up jumps the devil. Anybody ever had up jump the devil on me? Man, everything is going well. But one thing that I found out in life is simply this. The devil don't like it when everything is going well in our lives. All right. Did you not know that? The devil does not like it when everything is going well in your life because he doesn't have anything to stir up in you. But David says, he said, I can't blame nobody else. He said, right now, it's in my mind. And I'm having a battle that's going on in my mind. And I'm not thinking right. So this battle that's going on in my mind, I have to learn how to go to God and ask God to give me the direction that I need. It's between the mind. As a matter of fact, life within itself could be easier to tolerate and put up with if we had or have control over our mind and our thought pattern. How many of you all have felt like you said some things that you didn't mean? One thing that Dr. Davis taught us many years ago, I remember hearing him say, that's kind of a play on words when you say that you didn't mean to say it. Because what you said, you meant. Yes. But you just didn't mean for it to come out. But you meant it. You meant it. But it just slipped out. Talk to me, church. I've been there. You meant it. You've been holding on to you meant it. But it just slipped out. It was supposed to come out at the right time. But because you couldn't suppress it anymore, it came out at the wrong time. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, pray for me, pray for me. But David here, in the text, he recognized and he realized, man, he had some things going on. If I could just gain control over my mind and my thought pattern. Anybody ever been through a season where you didn't like how you was feeling? I mean, you ever been through a season where you really did not like the way that you feel? Not saying that you don't like somebody, but you really do not like the way that you are feeling. David could have done like some of us, y'all. He could have blamed everybody else, and then not even understanding that blame originated in your own mind or your own thoughts and your own neurological waves. But it's in times like these when we have to go to God and ask God, whatever it is, take it away and give me a free mind. Many scriptures gives us spiritual advice and evidence on what to do when the battle that we are having as believers is between the eyes and behind the nose. What do you do when you can't do nothing? It's two things that we have to do. We have to wait on God, and we have to trust God. There's a word that some of us, we just don't like that word process. But process is a part of life. And it don't matter what stage you are in life, what you have going on, physically, mentally, or spiritually, everything has to go through a process. Because you get to understand before that you can progress, it has to go through the process. And there are many of us, we're praying prayers, and right now, God, just because you hadn't got your prayer answered, don't think that God is not processing our prayers. Every time we begin to go to God through prayer, he's processing it. But it's only in his time. Nudge your neighbor and tell your neighbor, it's in his time. It's not about our time, it's about God's time. And there have been times within my life when I've asked God to kind of ease up, Lord, throw me something. Kind of like the scripture guy. I'll take a crumb right now. Lord, give me a crumb. And I know what your magnificent power is able to do. But we have to learn how to ask the Lord to give us a free mind, give us understanding of what it is, what's going on between our eyes and behind the nose. And here in the text we find David the psalmist having an encounter with God. Let me help somebody out on this Sunday morning. One of the biggest battles that we have as personally is simply this. I'm going to bless somebody with this. You're talking too much to people and not enough to God. All right. I'm trying to help somebody. You might not like what I just said, but it'll help you. God says, no matter whatever season that you are in, quit talking to people so much. And start learning how to lean and depend on me and my word. Even though you want to say something, even though you want to do something, God says, eliminate people and start talking to me more. You might not like a certain situation. You want to know how to get rid of that situation? Go to God. I found out in life, some of my greatest situations in life, some of my most excruciating times that I've had to deal with the enemy, instead of me opening up my mouth, I learned how to keep my mouth shut when it comes to the people and go to God and tell God all about it. Amen. How many of you believe God will do it? Man, God will do it. He'll do it. He'll do it. David had to have a talk with that man. Let me ask you this question. When was the last time you had a real talk with God? To where it was just you and God. You had a spiritual encounter. What is a spiritual encounter? A spiritual encounter is when you can take off your suit coat, when you can remove your tie, when you can take off the cufflinks, when you can loose the support or the girdle or whatever it may be that's holding everything up, and you can let everything out. Everything goes whichever way it wants to go. Am I helping anybody? You can unloose shoelaces that's been killing your feet for over an hour. And you can relax, loose yourself of everything and everybody that's been attached or hindering you. And you can talk to God. That's called a spiritual encounter. All of us in here, we have our favorite shoes that we wear when nobody knocks on the door. We got them favorite shorts that we lounge around in that needs to be washed because you've been lounging, for a couple of weeks. Talk to me, church. We got that favorite moo-moo or ugu or whatever you want to call it, the duster, things like that. It's yours. And you like to be warned before company comes over so that you can get some things together. But when you can free yourself of everything and release it all and talk to God, that's when you can have a spiritual encounter. So what she just done, she let it out. You got to do that. Right. Exactly. I feel you, sister. You at the right place, at the right time, to let whatever it is that's been attacking you. You at the right place, at the right time, to let it out. And if you're in this house on this morning, you've had things, people, and situations attacking you, God says you have 30 seconds to get on your feet, give him the praise, let it out, let it go, because you're recognizing and you're realizing, man, I'm trying to have an encounter with God. I ain't with all the mess and all the extra stuff. I just want to talk to God. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I let it out. Let it out. David, man, he had to let it out. So he went to the Lord. He had a spiritual encounter. The biggest thing that David was battling with was his enemies. And I had come to serve notice and to help somebody out on this Sunday morning. This right here. As long as we continue to do whatever we need to do for the Lord, you're going to have enemies. When you don't have enemies, you might need to check yourself. As long as you continue to do what you do for the Lord, you're going to have enemies. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you prayed for that devil? When was the last time you spoke over that demon? Quit allowing that demon and that devil to attack you. And you attack the demon and the devil. And tell that demon and that devil to depart from me. Get thee from behind me. So in his encounter, listen to this. In his encounter with God. See, sometimes after you have released everything and you dropped everything, sometimes that's when God is really able to talk to you. You got a clear mind. You got a clear conscience. And the devil could no longer attack you with what he's been attacking you with. So our prayers in this house on this morning is, God, whatever you do, just give me a free mind. Free mind. So that you can recognize that whatever it is that's in your mind, here it is right here, that's going to bless somebody. Whatever it is that's in your mind, it'll stay there until you truly turn it over to God. Whatever it is. Here you are, you still holding grudges. You mad at people that done something to you 20 years ago. And they doing good. You got to learn how to give it to God. Free yourself of it. You've come too far to turn back now. Don't let no demon or no devil stop you from getting where God is trying to take you. So in his encounter with God, he was able to tell the Lord, he says, I know that you're my light and my salvation. He said, but Lord, there's some things that I need to share with you. He says, I got some fears. In the scripture text, he said, Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I what? Whom shall I fear? Let me help somebody on this Sunday morning. If you want to get to the next step in your life and where God is trying to take you, you got to get over your fears. Look at your neighbor and repeat after me. Say, neighbor, fears were made to get over. Now let me rock your world right here. Let me ask you this question. Think about your greatest fears. There are those of us, we have some fears that really don't make sense to some people. I remember sharing with Pastor Davis one time. I don't understand how you used to jump out of planes in the Army, but you got a fear of getting on a ladder. Man, you jumped out of planes. You was foolish enough to be a paratrooper. You jumped out of planes. But I struggle with getting you to get on a 6-foot ladder. I don't know about you all, but I take that 6-foot ladder over jumping out of a plane any day. And I never forget that he shared with me. He said, son, I was prepared on how to jump out of the plane as a paratrooper. Because if I didn't do something right, I paid for it. Listen to what I'm saying. Think about that deepest fear that you have right now. Your fear may be riding a roller coaster or something. I don't know what it is. But think about whatever your fear is, your greatest fear. It's personal for all of us. Think about your greatest fear. But there's one fear that all of us have struggled with a time or two in our life. It's the fear of failure. Am I right about it? Trying to please everybody, not want to fail. Listen, failure is a part of life. You believe it? Failure, it's a part of life. So David sat down in his encounter, and the first thing that he threw out to the Lord was, I needed a freedom from my fears. In this, I understand that this is an emotional state of the mind. David in the text began to realize that the darkness of the devil was blocking the light and the salvation of the Lord. But David had to recognize what his fear was. And he went to God and asked God to free his mind from the fears that would come up in his mind. And I want to share with somebody in this place on this morning that whatever it is that's a fear in your life, God deposits in your spirit on this morning. You're free from it. You're free from it. I'm going to say that again. You're free from it. You're telling me as my man of God, I'm free from whatever fear that's been in my spirit. I'm free from it. I will no longer let this fear stop me from getting what God has directed for me in and over my life. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, you're free from the fear. What you saying? Step on out the boat. Failure is a part of life. You have to go through failure before you can recognize and realize what true success is all about. It's there for the taking. What are you going to do with it? David says, he says, I understand you're my light and my salvation, so whom shall I fear? I'm trying to help somebody in this place on this morning to understand that the devil can no longer hold it against you because God has loosed you from it. Light and salvation, then strength. So why should I be afraid? I'm no longer afraid of it. I'm free from it. So a free mind of the fear shall be seated 3 minutes of nothing. Secondly, after my fears, I'm free from the foes. God, as you are giving me a free mind. First off, you're telling me I don't have to be scared anymore. Because what used to be a fear of mine, it's no longer a fear of mine because you have freed me from it. He says, but God, after fearing the darkness, with you being light, able to overpower and overcome any kind of darkness, he says, I still got an issue. He says, when the wicked, verse 2, even my enemies and my foes. Let me help somebody with this right here. Don't run away from the foes. Foes have come in our lives to make us stronger. Okay? Here we are telling everybody about our mountains. When was the last time you told your mountain about your God? I'm going to say that again. Here you are telling everybody, girl, let me tell you this, man, let me tell you that. You're telling everybody about your mountain. When was the last time you told your mountain about your God? Is there anybody that can be honest enough to say that your God is awesome? He can make a way out of no way. My God is awesome. Not only does he hear my prayers, he answers my prayers. My God is awesome. He can raise the dead. He can heal the sick. He can make the lame walk. He can make the deaf hear. He can make the blind see. My God is awesome. So remember, David's having this encounter. He let it all out. So he told about the fears. Then he says, I got some foes, I got some haters, I got some enemies. But I want you to understand you can't deal with the foes without getting an understanding of your fears. Here it is right here. Remember this before I forget it. A free me can deal with the enemy. I'm going to say it again. A free me can deal with the enemy. I'm going to say it again. A free me can deal with the enemy. Did I help anybody with that right there? In other words, that's why I believe when the Bible teaches me and you all that he'll put no more on us than we be able to bear. A free me man can deal with the enemy. So this is what God does. He starts getting all his haters, Brother Terry, in verses 3 through 5. I mean, he started covering everything that the enemy would bring his way. But there was one thing that David did that was very interesting. He begins to acknowledge that the enemy is not over me. In other words, he began to acknowledge, to let the enemy know, I got something over me that will help control the enemy. He says, I'm over it. You can't use my past against me. I did what I did. God forgave me. It's going to be all right. Now, I got to free my mind. I got to lose myself of the situation. I got to lose myself of whatever it is that's trying to attack me so that I can be about my Father's business. A free mind has allowed me to get over my foes. He says, so you're free from your fears. Then secondly, he says you're free from your foes. This is what I like. Thirdly, in verse 6, he says, and now shall my head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Here it is. After understanding that God has released me of my fears. God has released me of my foe. Last but not least, God says you're free to finish. What do you mean, Pastor? Sometimes we have to go through in order to get to. I know you've had some hurdles in life and you jumped over those hurdles and you are still here. I know you've had some mess ups, some mix ups, some bleeds and some blunders, but you are still here. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, I ain't going nowhere. God got me here for a reason. I know that he'll put no more on me than I'll be able to bear. I don't care what it is that the devil throws my way. I know that I serve a very big God who is able to do all things but fail. David began to understand that. He was free to finish. Now the scripture text says in verse 6, at the beginning of the text, David wanted to instruct us this way. Quit holding your head down and lift it up. Man, I don't care how broke you get. Don't look down. Keep looking up. I don't care what season it is that you're going through in life. Don't look down. Keep looking up. I don't care what you are experiencing in your household. Don't look down. Keep looking up. It doesn't matter what's going on with the kids or the job or in a situation like that. Do not look down. Keep looking up. David, out of all that he's been through, he finished off by saying, I will lift my head above. He says, my head shall be lifted above my enemies. Verse 6 explains that after David freed his mind from the fears, the foes, that God gave him the finish. What was he saying, Pastor? He said, and now shall my head be lifted up. In other words, like you and I have said in times past, we finally finish. One of the most very interesting times of your life, maybe that time when you was reading that book or you were studying for something, and when you got to the last page of the book, it said, the end. Know that God is for you, regardless of your situation. The scripture says, if God be for you, he's more than the world that is against you. Man, David was excited just to be able to have that encounter with God. He felt like he had failed God, but even though he went through that season, he was still able to be used by God. But it all came by way of a free mind. Moral of the story in this house on this morning is, Pastor wants to deposit in your spirit, you have the right to have a free mind. Let the enemy know that it's no longer him that's controlling you, but it's you that's rebuking him. In other words, I switch places with the devil, and I let the devil know he does not have any authority in me, on me, or over me, because my life is in God's hand. And every time that the enemy begins to get busy, I have to remind him of whom my daddy is. How many of y'all can be honest enough to say, you let the enemy know, I'm a child of the Most High God. I don't care what it is that's presented in front of me. I know the family that I belong to. And I belong to the kingdom. And in me belonging to the kingdom tells me that I can ask and it shall be given unto me. I can seek and I shall find. I can knock and the door shall be open. I belong to the kingdom. I have become kingdom-minded. And in me becoming kingdom-minded, I understand that no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that is cast up against me shall utterly be cast down. I understand that all I have to do is lean, trust, and depend on God's word because of whom I am connected to. David recognized and David realized, just like you and I, all you got to do is release yourself. Have an encounter with God. Don't make it hard. Talk to that man. Tell that man all about it. Know that God is able to do all things but fail. You don't even pray like you used to pray. Why? Because you let the devil get busy. You don't read like you used to read. You don't praise like you used to pray. I remember that time in your life when you used to sing. It didn't matter if you were in key, off key, on key, or whatever the key was. You were singing for your Lord. Think about it. Ask God to clear your mind up. Go into the secret tabernacles. Everybody, you ought to have your own secret tabernacle. I got a few of them set up because I understand how the devil gets busy. Set up your tabernacle to where you let the devil know he has no dominion over you. Cry out to God. Let it out. Cry out to God. Face your fears. Face your foes. And understand that you are free to finish. It's up to you. You do the dictating. You tell the devil that he is a lie. You find whatever it is. Go back and get your inner peace. Go back and get your happiness. Go back and get your joy. Find out what ruined your peace. Find out what stole your joy. Find out what tapped into your happiness. Rebuke it and keep it moving. Maybe you got to do like David. Maybe you got to sit down and tell that man all about it. Oftentimes in my life, I find myself sitting like David, having an encounter with God, telling the Lord all about it. But when you begin to have that encounter with God and tell the Lord all about it, things will begin to change. Those roads that used to be crooked, they begin to straighten out. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor the road is straightening out. It used to be crooked, but it's straightening. It's straightening. It's straightening out. It's like riding through those mountains, and you're on top of that mountain. You're looking like, oh Lord, you praying because you don't really do the mountains. You know, you don't really do the mountains like being in those friendly skies and flying over into Vegas, going through Nevada. You're looking out. You're looking at the terrain. But guess what? Those crooked places. There's somebody thinking right now, take me there, Lord. Take me there, Lord. I know. Take me there, Lord. Get 2 tickets, one for me. Take me there, Lord. So all of those crooked places, God will make straight. But there's something that we have to do as believers that we struggle with. Do you take God at His word? This is how serious life is, y'all. And I've said this before. The same way you trust God to wake you up in the morning, it's the same way you got to trust Him in your situation. You got to trust God. Trust that He can handle it. How do you believe on this one? That whatever it is, God can handle it. If you believe it, get on your feet and praise God. You really believe it? Talk to yourself and tell yourself, I believe. Repeat after me, I believe. God can handle it. Let me say it again. Repeat after me, I believe. God can handle it. Repeat after me, I believe. God can handle it. Now, since you believe it, go ahead and receive it and bless God in this house. On this morning, face the field, face the pole, and know that God has called you to be able to finish it, man. It's going to get better. Pastor, how are you saying that it's going to get better? Because weeping may endure for a night, but joy coming in the morning is going to get better. Because I will lift up mine eyes to the hills from which cometh my help. Because all of my help comes from the Lord. It will get better. If you seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you. What do you mean? What do you mean? Put God first, and everything else will take care of itself. God says, all you got to do is trust me in your steps. The Bible says that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. How many believe if you take one step, God will take two? You got to trust him. You got to believe him. You got to trust him just like he woke you up on this morning. You got to believe God for your healing. You got to believe God for your health. You got to believe God for your finance. You got to believe God for the job situation. You got to believe God for the student. You got to believe God in whatever it is that you are dealing with. And if your mind is free, then opens up the mindset to understand and to know that God is able. Amen. Leave out of this place on this morning with this one thing on your heart. I believe. I believe. You cannot receive without believing. Believe and know that God is able to do it. Every head bowed, every eyes closed. God, as we